I got this order of shoreside shrimp. Shoreside shrimp from the Dakota during a karaoke night that also doubled as a Halloween party slash birthday party for one of Mom's friends. During the handful or so hours, we were at the Dakota. I sang a total of 3 songs. First, That's Amore by Dean Martin. Then The World I Know by Collective Soul. And then finally, Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Initially, for the first song, I tried to sing Everybody Loves the Sunshine by Roy Avers. But the karaoke host turned out to not have that. Song. So I ultimately instead opted for That's Amore by Dean Martin. During the Halloween slash birthday party, after I had first some bread and butter, and then a Fra Diavolo entree, with the first alcoholic beverage I got of the night, a French martini. Was what the cocktail was called. Followed by a glass of ice water. And we moved from the dining room area to the party room at the very back of the whole establishment. And that was where the karaoke night slash party for both the birthday of one of Mom's friends and for Halloween took place. There were cupcakes. All the cupcakes were in one sort of place with chocolate ones, or at least ones with brown frosting, making up the border of the cupcakes, and the cupcakes inside the border having white frosting and being vanilla. When the time came, I requested a vanilla cupcake. I ended up getting one. And that's how I know what I know currently regarding the cupcakes. One of Mom's friends provided. As for my mom, she provided a smallish container of cinnamon powder donut holes. That we got during a sort of late afternoon Wegmans grocery shopping trip. At the Wegmans by Mom's place, during which we not only got those donut holes, but also the sushi I'm eating right now. Along with a pre-made large chef salad and a pre-made large garden salad. Both pre-made by Wegmans, so they're generic. Since they were made by the store itself. A new whole gallon of whole milk. There's some seafood such as scallops and some plastic packaged bulk candy, essentially buying snack packs of candy individually wrapped of mini candy bars, something like that. 2 bags of bulk individually wrapped candy. For any trick-or-treaters who stop by our place this Halloween. Speaking of which, I wore my costume throughout the karaoke night at the Dakota. Though at times I took the head of what's supposed to be the Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland. Though it didn't come with a corresponding face mask. So I at least felt it was impressive that some of Mom's friends recognized what I was wearing at the time. As the Cheshire cat, or rather than what I felt it would be recognized as, a pink and purple striped cat. I always wore the main part of the costume, essentially the body suit with the attached tail, and I always wore the feet. With me otherwise being barefoot. As I said previously, I wore the head on and off. As with the head on, it had a tendency to make my hair itchy. And my head hot and stuffy. Though I never wore the gloves, even though I brought them. I thought I would wear them after eating a Fra Diavolo. I got this sometime later, right before the kitchen closed, with about 15 or so minutes to spare, so that I would have something to eat for this. From the Dakota. For my second alcoholic beverage, I got a margarita specialty cocktail, though it ended up being poured in a glass rather than a martini glass. But that was perfectly fine. I had just those two alcoholic beverages after the margarita in the glass. Over 90 to 120 minutes afterwards, I had about 3 or so glasses of iced water. Maybe 2 at the least. Both of those last 2 coming with a lemon wedge as a garnish. There were some good decorations up within the party room where the karaoke night and Halloween/birthday party took place. As for earlier today, I got up around 6 in the morning. That's when I woke up after going to bed around 2:15 in the morning. And despite me not sleeping at all since that time, from what I remember, I don't feel tired currently. Though I shouldn't have any problem falling asleep. Once I'm done filming this. I worked at Wegmans today, the Wegmans by Dad's place, which has a different layout from the one by Mom's place. So when we went for the late afternoon grocery shopping trip, I felt a bit disoriented, or maybe off, because, the 2 different Wegmans have different layouts. I worked at Wegmans from... Initially, it was going to be from 7 to 7 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning. But at one point, a coworker that I believe is a sort of manager or supervisor approached me and told me about a sort of conference meeting that ended up being from noon to 12:30 p.m. during which we were fed prepared subs, essentially catered party subs, displays, with with various condiments for the subs, of which I opted for just mayo, and either a bag of whatever you want from either a bag of Wegmans branded wavy plain potato chips, or I believe Wegmans branded Himalayan salt popcorn. I opted for the chips. From what I recall, it was essentially a meeting that went over using a PowerPoint expectations for those working in positions associated with the produce department, whether that be restocking, loading, or as well as going over expectations for in cases where any employee gets a closer shift, which I've gotten a couple of times in the past, though it doesn't happen that often for me. And thus, I ended up working at Wegmans today from 7 in the morning to 1 p.m. Around 6:15 in the morning, I had essentially 3 slices of bread with peanut butter and jelly, of which I ate them all separately, just as slices of bread with peanut butter and jelly. I didn't take 2 and make a sandwich out of them, like I always do if I'm given 2 slices of bread with peanut butter and jelly. I had what I had with my first cup of plain coffee, though I didn't really get to finish it until about 1:30, around 1:30 p.m. Around the time after Mom picked me up from work, we made a stop at Dad's place so I could pack up the stuff I put in my laptop case. And I only recall having 1 more cup of plain coffee. Mostly during the drive from Dad's place to the Wegmans by Dad's place. At various points during the karaoke night / party for both somebody's birthday, one of Mom's friends, and for Halloween, I made some good small talk with an older man that I may have seen before. It was good conversation.